Now, breaking news from RTV6.
Right now at 11, severe weather ravages Indiana as what seemed like an endless string of tornadoes touched down for roughly 6 hours all across the state. The image is still rolling into our newsroom right now, like this one, a tornado bearing down there in Kokomo. Look closely at this one, another in that area, powerful enough to send that debris flying hundreds of feet into the air. Now tonight, hundreds have been forced out of their homes, tens of thousands still without power. Homes damaged and destroyed in Kokomo and Howard County, more wiped away in Montgomery County. But amazingly, the governor reports only 15 people were injured, none of them severely. Good evening, everyone. Our crews have been hard at work working for you, out tracking those tornadoes all day long, checking out the damage and speaking to Hoosier families whose lives essentially been upended. We've got team coverage tonight. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez leads our coverage from Kokomo in front of the Starbucks there flattened during the storm. Rafael.
The Starbucks, as you can see behind me, was simply toppled, Jason. Terrifying images that you just showed. Right now, it's all about recovery on a day that the people in this area saw almost everything that Mother Nature could throw at them. Tornadoes, funnel clouds, downpours, strong winds, anything and everything they saw today. Let me show you right now what we saw and what the National Weather Service says caused a lot of the damage here in Kokomo and Howard County. The National Weather Service says that an EF3 tornado ripped through Howard County today, causing extensive damage. And speaking with Mayor Greg Goodnight tonight, he tells me that he believes that possibly 300 to 500 people could be displaced. We should also point out that right now there are no schools tomorrow in this area, as well as you're seeing now from this damage. The we're being told that the state of emergency was just lifted about 30 minutes ago. But take a look at all of that damage caused here. The recovery will take several days, possibly even several weeks. RTV6 is working for you to put this storm in perspective. We have live team coverage. We begin with Liz Ariola, who arrived here in Kokomo a couple of hours ago, and she is with the survivors of the storm that happened today. Liz, what's going on?
Yeah, Raphael, I'm right near the underbelly of an RV that was pushed on its side by those high winds. According to the National Weather Service, the wind speeds reached up to 136 miles per hour, causing several collapses. Several structures collapsed in the area, garages, homes, even a Starbucks. We reached out to a man who captured video footage of a Starbucks that collapsed. He was inside a restaurant right across from that Starbucks, and he was able to capture that footage as the building went down. He said it all happened within 8 minutes. He was on top of the restaurant trying to fix the roof when he got the alert from the National Weather Service that the storm was headed his way. He ran for cover inside that restaurant. That's when he pulled out his cell phone and captured that Starbucks coming down. He explained to us what he saw, how he felt as that building crashed to the ground.
I saw the roof. It just peeled off the building, and then shortly, almost instantaneously, the building collapsed. And immediately my heart sunk. I knew there were people in that building, and I instantly felt for them. I was just like, I was expecting the worst. I was able to knock holes into the wall so I could communicate with them. I used a brick and just bashed holes, let them know that they were all right, the storm was gone, let them know the building had collapsed, that they were fine, we were going to get them out. And being at work, I had my tools in my pocket, so I was able to get the pins out of the door hinges. We were able to get them out that way, and I used my drill to take the door hanger off, and then we were able to take and throw the doors to the side and help people slowly and carefully get out of there.
And I spoke to a spokesperson from the National Weather Service who says a confirmed F3 tornado passed near the back end of that Starbucks. The winds from that tornado went through the doors, went through the windows, ripping the roof right off that building. Luckily, the workers inside that Starbucks were able to huddle inside the bathroom for safety until help arrived to help break them out of that bathroom and help them get to safety. But some very, very scary moments out here in Kokomo as people brace for that tornado. Like I said before, the winds up to 136 miles per hour. People just bracing for the worst, but happy that there were no serious injuries out here in Kokomo. Raphael?
Liz, thank you so much. So many scary moments, but we're also seeing so many stories of survivals also emerge. Let me show you what is left of that Starbucks here in Kokomo. This is video from Skycam 6 in HD. This is one of the first images to emerge to the world and to the nation. This image of the Starbucks, which was toppled when those winds blew through. You heard just a few moments ago some sirens as I was talking. This remains a very active and developing situation because of all the outages out here. There are many state police that are watching many of the properties around here, including the Starbucks, which is now being protected by yellow tape. Our Paris LaBelle is now focused on public safety, which is really right now priority number one with so many power outages here in Kokomo. He continues our team coverage right now at 11. Paris?
Raphael, a lot of people still out, a lot of help coming from law enforcement and first responders. Right behind me, this is the Howard County Emergency Management makeshift area right now that they're using as a command post. This is where police officers and firefighters are going to get more water or get more supplies and even just take a break from dealing with the community and looking through homes and things like that. Now, as soon as there was word of tornadoes on the ground, the county did call back off-duty officers and firefighters to come back to work and start helping out the community. Firefighters went through the worst of the damage and started searching for people that were hurt. And if they didn't find anyone inside, that red X that you can see on the front of the home was spray painted. That again meant that nobody was inside the house. Now, police said in the first moments of the tornado outbreaks, they did get overloaded with 911 calls, but they were able to handle it.
So as soon as the tornadoes come through, we quickly generate calls for service.
During the initial report of this weather as it started coming in, we did fall behind, so to speak, but we have a system where we call all those people back, and that has all been accomplished. Everybody that called in got a call back.
Now, a big concern for police tonight is that of looting. They're keeping a lot of these neighborhoods secure tonight. So if you are a resident, be prepared to show ID when you do go back into your area. Again, they are keeping it secure because they don't want any looting. They're telling any criminals to stay out tonight, and hopefully everything stays safe. Raphael, we'll send it back over to you.
Paris, thank you so much. Police presence is, you can see it everywhere here in Kokomo. The governor was on the campaign trail. As you know, he's running as a vice presidential nominee with Donald Trump. He was out of town when the storms hit, but then he came back home. Our State House reporter, Katie Hines, caught up with the governor at the State House Emergency Operations Center. Katie?
State leaders and Department of Homeland Security officials briefed Governor Pence on Indiana's response to the storms here at the Emergency Operations Center. Pence learned that assistance includes more than 46 Indiana state troopers on the ground and DNR teams helping families. And that employees are clearing roadways and providing floodlights.
It is truly remarkable that there are such a few number of injuries or worse in the wake of this storm, given the fact that it literally struck Howard County virtually at shift change in the afternoon in a great manufacturing town and about the time kids were getting out of school. Pence will make stops in the hardest hit areas tomorrow, both Howard and Montgomery counties. His staff confirms the governor's day will start with a trip to Kokomo in the morning. He says he'll stay in Indiana as long as he's needed to ensure all state resources that are necessary are available. Katie Hines, RTV 6.
Katie, thank you. We expect the governor sometime in Howard County tomorrow, according to the mayor here of Kokomo. Of course, these storms seemed endless, one after the other. And our chief meteorologist, Kevin Gregory, was tracking them throughout the afternoon. And Kevin, can you put this in perspective for us? Because it seems like I was running in and out of the vehicle, hiding from something coming from out of the sky at every moment here in Kokomo today.
Well, certainly Kokomo and Howard County had the most unusual evening and afternoon as you had more than one storm producing tornadoes, Rushville, Kokomo, and then southeast of Kokomo as well, Indian Heights and toward Taylor. The first tornado warnings came in just before 3 o'clock, those in Montgomery County. By the time we got to just before 4, Howard County tornadoes reported, then just after 6 o'clock up in Peru. The last warnings ended at 9:45, about a 7-hour stretch of tornado warnings. As we've told you, EF3 tornado reported in Kokomo. This is a preliminary report, but wind speeds in an EF3 can go up to 165 miles per hour. The other confirmed tornado with a preliminary report, EF2 damage just northwest of New Ross in Montgomery County. Wind speeds of up to 135, range of 111 to 135 degrees. Okay, I'm sure you're wondering, are we going to have more storms tonight? overnight. The storms that produced the tornadoes and the strongest storms are exiting now eastern Indiana, east of Winchester, pushing into Ohio. We had some redevelopment then of some pockets of heavier rain, but any severe weather threat will continue to diminish, and our forecast model in the short term not showing much in the way of overnight thunderstorms. There is a marginal or low risk if we get an isolated thunderstorm to develop. We'll talk about tomorrow and how the situation doesn't change a whole lot. We're still warm and humid with more thunderstorms. Raphael?
Kevin, thank you so much, and we appreciate everything you and Kyle Mount said today in making sure that we were all safe as you were tracking the storms. Kevin, thank you. We'll see you in just a few moments. Kokomo was not the only city in the bullseye of the storm. As you can see from more pictures of our extensive coverage, this from Skycam 6, also in HD, over Montgomery County, where several homes were damaged. Our live team coverage continues tonight with our Chance Walser. He has spent many hours tonight there in Crawfordsville, has the latest tonight at 11. Chance?
Right now we're in Lindsborg. You can see over my right shoulder some of the trees down to give you an indication of the damage that was done here. And then down the road, crews are working furiously to restore power to this area. I spoke with one woman this evening who feels like a survivor. She was in her basement as the storm blew through, destroying her house above. In Montgomery County, some were not around when the damage was done. For them, it was an emotional homecoming.
We got the friends and family. We're picking everything up. We're going to take everything to storage that we can.
Down the road, Jerry Storm was home when she got the warning.
I was scared to death. I just slammed the window and took off to the basement. And 20 seconds tops, it was over.
20 seconds is what it took to destroy her yard, her house.
That's my bedroom.
And her vehicles. When did you get this truck?
2 Saturdays. Well, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before on the 6th.
You know it's bad, one neighbor said, when parts of your house are hanging in the trees. The sheriff says damage to several properties is extensive, but thankfully no one was hurt in the storm that caught most of the county by surprise.
We knew that there was a chance for storms, but we didn't understand or didn't know the magnitude of the storms.
And we're back out live now. We're on County Road 550 East. This is Lindsborg's main drag, so to speak. Properties are a mess on both sides of the road. We understand power crews that you can see down there will be working throughout the night and have a goal to get restored to this area sometime tomorrow. Live in Montgomery County, Chance Walser, RTV 6.
Chance, thank you so much. And our live coverage is just beginning. Our team is exploring several stories that are just developing right now. What saved many lives today in Kokomo? We're working on that story. And what is next for the people in Crawfordsville, Indianapolis, and here in Kokomo? Those stories coming up in just a few moments, Jason.
All right. Thank you so much. Rafael Sanchez reporting there. A very long night, a very long week ahead for a lot of those homeowners impacted. A very long day for our own Kevin Gregory as well. He's been on the air essentially live since before 3 o'clock this afternoon. And Kevin, we're essentially still not out of the woods quite yet. Some more storms popping up there.
The best thing I can say, there are no active warnings right now. The strongest storms are about ready to exit the state, Jason, to the east. You can see just to the east then of Winchester pushing into Ohio. That's the cluster of lightning there. The remaining counties along the state line with Ohio about ready to expire as far as any tornado watch is concerned. We have here some pop-up downpours that will roll through Greencastle, Stylesville, along Cloverdale and Interstate 70. That's what we expect through the overnight hours with an isolated thunderstorm. Any risk for severe weather is pushing into Ohio as far as a slight risk. There's a marginal risk we could have a strong thunderstorm in central Indiana. Damaging wind would be the main threat. Remember, some schools closed in Howard County as a result of the storm. 73 at the bus stop in Indianapolis in the morning hours. Chance for thunderstorms low in the morning. It will increase in the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 80s already at 11 a.m. A warm, sticky, steamy day, 88 for the high. We'll talk about the possibility of more thunderstorms and let you know when we break the pattern and have some dry weather in the forecast coming up.
See you back in a bit, Kevin. Still to come as well after a quick break. Our team coverage continues on the ground in Howard County, where we're checking in on families who've lost everything. The very close call one homeowner had ahead. You're watching the RTV 6 News at 11.
The news at 11 continues on RTV 6.
Welcome back, everyone. The cleanup continues in the darkness for some right now after a massive tornado outbreak across central Indiana today, as hundreds tonight spent at least one night in an emergency shelter. More than 23,000 people in Howard County right now still without power tonight. Our team coverage continues here on RTV 6 and the news at 11 from the hardest hit areas this evening. Let's head back out to RTV 6's Rafael Sanchez, who's in Kokomo tonight leading our coverage. Rafael.
Jason, good evening. Kokomo is the state's 13th largest city. It is a hub for the auto industry. Here, the slogan is City of Firsts. And the first thing tomorrow morning, people in this city are going to do, begin the recovery, the cleanup process. I spoke to one woman, Betty Westerman, who lives near Markland Mall. In fact, she lives just across the street. And her neighborhood, Cedar Crest, has been hit by a tornado for the second time in 2 years.
And then the glass started breaking, and this window come out. I heard the window come breaking through, and that's all I heard. It's outside of the wind.
Ever scared?
No, I wasn't. I don't know why I wasn't, but I wasn't. I was worried about my dog.
Betty is a strong lady. My colleagues are spread across the region working for you to bring you the very latest tonight at 11. We begin with Liz Ariola, who is here with me in Kokomo, just down the street in the neighborhood with Neighborhood Reaction. Liz, what's unfolding right now?
Workers with the National Weather Service shared that this was anywhere between an EF2 and an EF3 tornado, and it knocked things down with winds that were wind speeds above 136 miles per hour. As you can see, this billboard, one of the things that was knocked clean on its side right now tonight, using the flashlight to kind of show you some of the wreckage that is left behind from that tornado. And viewers were quick to share videos with RTV6. This video that you see on your screen right now coming from Kelsey Kyle. She shot this on her cell phone while driving next to one of the tornadoes that touched down today. The video, like I said, when I last spoke to a representative from the National Weather Service, the count was at 6 tornadoes that touched down. Now that number could be as high as 9 tornadoes. The tornado that took down the Starbucks originated near 300 West and 100 South, according to the National Weather Service. And it didn't stop there. Trees were sheared, rooftops ripped clean off homes. And here's some insight into how the National Weather Service was able to track those tornadoes today.
We started out southwest of the Kokomo area. Then we had to move for a tornado. Then witnessed another one south of Kokomo before we got over to here. So we've actually started this in rush hour in Indianapolis to get up here. But this is the worst damage I've seen so far.
And according to the National Weather Service, the path of the tornadoes today, very similar to the route of destruction that happened back when the tornadoes hit this area in 2013. Rafael did tell me that it is very unusual, highly unusual for tornadoes to touch down in August.
The people here are survivors. You know, saving lives was key, from Kevin Gregory's forecast throughout the afternoon to even smartphone technology. Our Paris LaBelle is at the command center set up here in Howard County with the very latest on how smart technology saved people today. Paris, fill us in on that. Paris?
Rafael, officials tonight say it's amazing that there were so few injuries in an incident like this. Usually they bring far more, and they say it's all because of a system that they installed just a few years ago called Everbright. Now, even before the tornado was on the ground here in Howard County, people started getting telephone calls and text messages from that Everbright system. It was installed after the tornado in 2013, and that's because Howard County has so few tornado sirens. There's only about 10 county-wide, and they say this system tonight definitely saved lives.
We've literally had thousands, about 1,000 people in Howard County that have signed up on that notification system, and I will tell you that it worked unbelievably well this afternoon. We were getting notifications well in advance of these tornadoes touching down, and I think that speaks to what the sergeant was talking about as to why we were able to maybe have less on the injury side.
Rafael, we're still here at one of the command posts for the Emergency Management Agency. As you can see behind me, still a lot of activity. Police here getting more resources. They go back into the neighborhoods to help the communities. They say they'll be out here all night and through the next couple of days. Rafael?
Paris, thank you so much. And if you want a weather radio here in Kokomo, the city provides them at a discount for $9. I should also point out that just a few moments ago, we saw an armada of trucks with generators, and they need generators in this area because we still are experiencing massive power outages. Kokomo was not the only place hit hard today. So was Crawfordsville. And my colleague Chance Walser is live there in Montgomery County. He's been there all night long, has the very latest tonight at 11. Chance, what's happening there right now?
Right now we're standing on County Road 550 East in the small Montgomery County town of Lindsborg. You can see the downed trees behind me. That's the case on both sides of the road. Even further down the road, homes and properties on both sides of the road are either damaged or destroyed. Right now, power crews are working to restore power to the area, a goal they expect to achieve sometime tomorrow. Here's a quick look at the damage. The sheriff says several houses have been damaged or destroyed. None appear to have gotten it worse than Jerry Storm's house. She was home when she saw the warnings on her phone. She ran down to the basement, and in about 20 seconds, she says the storm lay waste to her yard, her vehicles, and her house.
I thought maybe the whole house was going to come down. You don't know. I've never been through anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. And it's bad. It's real bad.
Adding insult to injury, Jerry said she just bought a new truck 2 weeks ago. That's now in the garage that used to be buried under layers and walls of debris. Live in Montgomery County, Chance Walser, RTV6.
Chance, thank you so much. As you can see behind me, a lot of devastation. But the good thing is, you know, Hoosiers are never defeated. Recovery will continue tomorrow. You're watching live Storm Team 6 coverage from Howard County, only on RTV6.
Welcome back as our coverage of a violent day weather-wise across central Indiana continues right now. And let's get you back into the air with Skycam 6 tonight. Capture the view from above in Montgomery County here after the storm. Homeowners up on the roof there checking out shingles on that house after the severe storm swept through. Kind of became a family affair, as you can see. Relatives, maybe some friends there gathering out in the driveway. Some damage to the smaller buildings behind the home. The house itself survived. Also in Montgomery County, more damage here, but look at what was saved. It appears the home made it through relatively unscathed at the top left of your screen. And there in the middle of the barn, that John Deere tractor looks ready to run. Old Big Green there. Pulling back, you can see the corn flattened, debris scattered thousands of feet away as that family started cleaning up there before the sun went down this evening. Meanwhile, back in Kokomo, neighbors walking the streets, surveying the damage to other homes in that community. Several in that subdivision, those houses with the roofs ripped right off, trees flattened, ripped down right through the walls of several homes. Sights like those from above make it even more amazing that there weren't any more serious injuries reported. We've uploaded more images and videos for you to both see and share now through the RTV6 app and over at theindychannel.com. Let's get back over to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, who joins us with the forecast going forward. Good evening again, Kevin.
And Jason, we mentioned there are no watches or warnings in Indiana. The strongest storms have pushed into Ohio. We have some pockets of rain that will continue overnight with some isolated thunderstorms, a low risk for any severe storms. Tomorrow, still scattered thunderstorms expected ahead of a cold front. Rain chances will diminish for a couple days before coming back late in the weekend. It will be a warm stretch as well. Temperatures in the morning already well into the 70s. You're looking at an upper 80s high tomorrow with scattered thunderstorms around. Temperatures will cool only slightly. We'll see a little drop in the humidity Friday. That'll probably be a little more noticeable. And then temperatures will warm from there into the weekend. The severe risk tomorrow, northern half of the state with the best chance over northeast Indiana into northern portions of Ohio. Damaging wind and isolated tornado in the strongest storms. 7:30 in the morning, not much happening. There's your storms moving across the northern third of the state and northern half as we go into the afternoon hours. Any thunderstorms that develop will have some torrential rainfall potential because the humidity will be so high. 85, your Friday high temperature into the weekend. Temperatures will begin to warm up from there. They'll be back into the upper 80s with a daily chance for thunderstorms, as you can see, Sunday through Wednesday of next week. We'll be back with more of the news after this.